With all this talk about Source 2 coming out very soon, I wanted to share my thoughts on the effect on the market. A lot of stuff has been going on around the game that suggests we are finally going to get the new update we have always wanted. There were some leaks in the Dota 2 updates at first, mentioning skins and sticker applying. We also got to see some new end screens for games, suggesting they are working on a new panorama update, if you will. There was the test update Valve accidentally dropped, that was really suspicious. Plus there were people meeting up for certain things connected to the game. Later on stream, the Warl accidentally mentioned the release of Source 2 in August.
Whenever you get back to mapping, you should try Hammer++. I want the Source update. I'm honestly waiting for the Source update in August. So that... Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
And he has been known to be involved with Valve, so if anyone has some inside info they shouldn't have, it would be him. That means there's already stuff outside of Valve going on with content creators and other people. Since him saying this was most likely an accident, we now know almost for sure that it will come out in August or somewhere near that. We also had the tweet from Robs that predicted Source 2, or was talking about when was it finally gonna get released. He has also been known to predict updates in the past, or even just show stuff that's not released yet, or just predict stuff that's gonna happen, as a way to leak stuff for Valve that they don't do it themselves, someone else does it for them. And since pro players normally don't really tweet about that stuff, this was kind of suspicious as well. Also, Valve are working on a lot of different things right now, like updating the game, suggesting that Source 2 might be coming soon. For example, the recent matchmaking update is also very suspicious, since they might be trying to clean up the game and make the system better to prepare for the Source update. They're also trying out some stuff with the market, like happened recently where you couldn't accept market transactions. That happened twice, which could mean they are fixing bugs with the market or items, which is good to do before such a big update. The 10-year anniversary is coming up on August the 20th, which would pose the perfect opportunity for an update like this. There were a lot more signs and leaks found, but I think the point is clear. Source 2 is coming and it's coming real soon, if not in August. I am thinking it's gonna be the 20th of August, the 10-year anniversary of CSGO, but Valve are really not that tight about dates, so you never know. They could also release it later than that, if it isn't finished yet, but since they've already made a Source 2 version of everything, including the literal soccer ball on DOS 2, they must be getting pretty close right about now. Also, releasing it later would cause us to get too close up to the next major, meaning more problems, because people would have to, like, in a couple of weeks or in a month, just adjust to a new system. That's not gonna be too good. Many people are gonna be angry if that happens. Whether the next major will be held in Source 1 or Source 2 is up to you. If they do Source 2, it's going to throw off a lot of people's game, so maybe a good time for new upcoming players to dethrone Simple. With this very solid prediction in mind, I want to talk about what will happen if Source 2 drops. First of all, we're going to see a lot of confusion, because everything is going to change. Most likely you will have some sort of grace period where you can swap between Source 1 and 2, so people have some time to get used to it, and so Valve can tweak things where necessary. There's probably going to be a beta where you don't have to switch, you can just do it if you want to, and it's not going to be perfect, there's going to be loads of bugs. Furthermore, this whole thing that Valve always does of not telling us before it happens is only going to make more hype. So when it drops, Twitter and YouTube will explode. There will also be a lot of media coverage probably, by sites and maybe even by some more well-known media, so that's very good for us. There will be bugs and problems, so people will at first probably dislike the new interface and or movement, simply because no one is used to it yet. As time goes by though, Valve will fix bugs and make the game smoother, which will mean more people will like it and get used to it. The game will become better looking, which will get more people's attention, since it now doesn't look as if it's a 10-year-old game, which it is. That's a good thing. This will give us a lot of media attention, which brings new players in. The Source 2 update and all the hype around it will also cause a lot of old players to try the new game again, so a great influx of players is inevitable. That nicely brings me to my next point. If CSGO is getting the Source 2 update, a lot more people are going to get interested in the game, learning about skins, opening cases, and eventually buy, sell, trade and invest into the game. The update will also likely come with a rebrand that will make the game more advertiser friendly, which will get more people in the scene. More money from new players and new advertisers leads to even more attention, and this is why I think the game is about to explode, and why I think this increase in price of cases is not the summer hype yet. It is simply a precursor. With loads more people playing the game and wanting skins, everything in the game will become more expensive. In my opinion, by quite a bit. Cases hovering at 3 cents for months or years on end is a thing of the past. So many people want a good looking knife so bad that even opening the cheapest case for 20 or 30 cents is totally fine now because the knives are that expensive too. The Source 2 update will also allow the introduction of custom models for skins, which means the physical appearance can be different, apart from the paint job. In the past we got that effect on skins like the Desert Eagle light rail with the placement layers that looked like a real surface, but it was just a fake layer. With these new layers, they can make the actual shape of the skin actually be different, meaning they can add actual texture or details like they do on agents already. Like for example on this Desert Eagle Jormungandr, one of my favorite skins of all time. They would be able to have actual 3D patterns on here, all these lines and curls and swirls, they could all be 3D, and when you hold it at an angle like you do when you aim or shoot, you would actually be able to see the light bounce off differently, which would be insanely cool, make all of them very shiny. But this does depend on Valve actually doing that for every skin, so you never know. This will make all new skins more unique, but I don't know what they will do about the old skins. I personally hope they update the old skins to look good in the new engine, but doing that for all skins would take some time. It is necessary, however, because if they just give all of them default settings, that will make all old skins more boring and worse looking than the new ones. We will have to wait and see, but I have good hope that they did update a lot of the skins. In general, they will look better, because the new engine has more cool and unique features that can make stuff look cool and unique. Also, Valve have been working on this for a while, and one of their biggest problems was porting over the skins, so they probably will have spent some time in it and actually did what is necessary to make them look good. Otherwise, people will complain if their old skins suddenly all of a sudden just look bad in the new engine. People will be like, wait, I paid for this, it looked good, and now it's just this piece of trash? People are gonna be mad. So I think they did really try to make them as good and as originally suiting as possible. In my personal opinion, there is currently not much to suggest against Source 2 in August, and thus we will most likely see an influx of attention on the game, more money in there because of it, and thus more inevitable price increases. I don't want to guarantee anything, because Valve are this random about stuff, but I'm pretty sure on this one. I am personally not selling any of my investments yet, due to the likelihood of this update coming out. The only thing they could release after all that would sink the market is an operation. And them working on updates like the ranking system on top of the Source 2 update and then also work on all of the work that goes into a new operation? Nah, that just doesn't sound like Valve. I think they have done the next few updates in this order. First of all, update the ranking system to clear up some problems there and make it a more pleasant experience to play the game. Then update the Source 2 to get some more attention and get more people into the game. Then, when we've grown a significant amount, cash in with the next operation or the next major, whichever one comes first. They could do the operation first to make sure that the timeline is still correct and to do an operation about every year, but they could also do the major first and then the operation afterwards to give themselves more time to make it better, especially if it's not finished yet, which Valve is known to do. And that's also fair in such a short time span. So, what do you think? Will Source 2 be released soon? And if so, what will happen? I think we are all about to be very happy with ourselves. If you don't want to miss out any future content, make sure to subscribe. It helps me out a lot. If you want to know more reasons why I think a summer hype is still coming, make sure to check out this video. If you're still watching, you're truly awesome. Thank you. Goodbye.